A message to Agnes from her niece, scratched into the leaves of the sisal tree planted to mark her grave. The family couldn't afford a tombstone, and now this towering plant is a symbol of the years that have passed since she was murdered. Years of her killer walking free. Of all the messages Esther's written for her aunt, this one carries more hope than grief. 13 years and finally going to the United Kingdom, it says. She's travelling to London to meet the Secretary of State for Defence, to call for the extradition of the British soldier accused of killing Agnes Wanjiru, supported by a recent arrest warrant issued by the Kenyan government.
I'm feeling sad because at 21 years, I should not be doing this. I should be doing other things, enjoying my life. But now, since the British government and Kenyan government failed, that's why I'm planning all this, to go and continue lobbying for Agnes. It's until they serve Agnes justice, that's when Agnes' spirit will rest. But until then, it will always cry out.
In many ways, Agnes's hometown is still trapped in the past. It was set up as a colonial settler town favored by retired British soldiers. 60 years since independence, it hosts the headquarters of the British Army Training Unit in Kenya, known as BATUK. There have been thousands of complaints against British soldiers training here in Nanyuki, but one case still stands out 13 years later. The brutal murder of Agnes Wanjiru is still extremely painful for the people who knew and loved her, and they're hoping that her killer will be extradited to Kenya and finally brought to justice. Divisions in Nanyuki run deep, with sex workers at a dangerous intersection. Agnes was working as a hairdresser and sex worker when she was killed, and sex workers here still see her murder as a cautionary tale, in spite of a ban prohibiting British soldiers from soliciting sex overseas.
It's not that they are not buying sex, they are still buying sex, but what they are using, we have Airbnbs. They are using Airbnb, and they have their pimps who they are using to bring those sex workers to their houses, and they do their stuff there and they pay them there.
The Ministry of Defence told us that there is absolutely no place for sexual exploitation and abuse by people in the British Army, and sent this statement to Sky News in response to our report. Our thoughts remain with the family of Agnes Wanjiru, and we remain absolutely committed to helping them secure justice. We understand that the Kenyan Director of Public Prosecutions has determined that a British national should face trial in relation to the murder of Miss Wanjiru in 2012. This is subject to ongoing legal proceedings, and we will not comment further at this stage. They also stated that the UK deeply values the defence relationship with Kenya, underpinned by the Defence Cooperation Agreement, and that unacceptable and criminal behaviour has absolutely no place in the armed forces. The British generals running BATUK argue that rural Kenya's terrain, climate and permissions provide an unparalleled opportunity to build combat power in peacetime. But all over, people are calling for compensation for alleged abuses by BATUK soldiers. Chawla's mother, Mumsi, says her daughter was injured by a British military truck in a hit and run in 2019 that left her with an amputated leg and worsened mental disability. Mumsi can't afford adult diapers, so Chawla has to sit on the concrete floor in her own urine.
It has greatly affected me because she needs care all the time. I don't have a husband and have children to feed, but no time to work. I'm surviving on handouts.
The area chief says BATUK paid for 2 years of Chawla's hospital bills, but provided no aftercare.
A truck just ran and knocked the, she's a lady. We used to know her walking around, greeting us, giving us some small stampede because she's a bit mentally challenged. But all of a sudden, they knocked her, they moved. So it really made us feel they are not people who really feel about other people.
In the remotest parts of northern Kenya, another family grieves 13 years of loss, with only the changing landscape marking the passage of so much time. A local court has ruled that their son Tilam Laresh was shot in the back by a British Army officer in 2012, and that the sergeant major involved be charged with murder. The British High Commission in Kenya told us that in the wake of the recent ruling, they conducted a further detailed review of the evidence in the case, and again concluded that no charge would be brought because of insufficient evidence.
He has left a gap in the family because he was the next of kin. As the first son, I raised him to be an adult, but he was killed young. He was meant to take care of the cows because he was my helper as the firstborn son.
But Tilam's brother Jacob is hoping Agnes Wanjiru's case will set a precedent.
We heard about it, and it's like the same case. So we are hoping maybe the same will be done for our family also, just like they are doing to Agnes Wanjiru. Yeah. So expecting maybe the same. Yeah. The same course of the law will be followed to do the necessary action.
Back at Agnes's grave, her sister and niece are deep in prayer, holding on to the faith that has fueled their pursuit of justice for so long and means everything at this moment. Yusra al-Bagir, Sky News, Kenya.